I am J.B. Bryan, President and Chief Investment Officer of J.B. Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm and the home of AfroEconomics. I got Elizabeth, Monica, Mike, that Ms. Hayes, yes indeed, Ms. Crockett, Chesa, Craig, Ms. Wright. Yes, indeed, from the 757, we got Ohio, we got Virginia, we got Maryland, we got North Carolina, we got Mr. Montgomery that was born in Alabama, indeed, celebrating their first, Montgomery, Alabama, the first Black mayor for Montgomery, Alabama in 200 years. I mean, what a great day that we are celebrating on football nights at AfroEconomics land, indeed. I appreciate you all, and I'm just thankful for this opportunity to talk about some key plays, some key things that I think that make investments much like football. Now, just to add a little bit of me in this, I really believe this, and it just came to me as I was preparing tonight, that our mentality is really, even in sports and in investments, our mentality is more important than our ability. Because I believe that our mentality really develops our ability as an athlete, and our mentality develops our ability as an investor, and as a money manager, and as a person who is developing your career and developing your business, and your mentality creates your ability to play your position in life. How you see yourself. Do you doubt yourself? Do you have confidence in your financial ability? Because I believe that doubt is a luxury that we just cannot afford as Black people in America and Black people abroad. No matter where you are, as people of color, we cannot, as Black people, afford to doubt ourselves. We have to stay on working on our playbook. We have to stay on top of our game. We have to stay on top of our skill, our education, our ability. We have to be committed to having a positive, strong mentality in order to make our world, the world, a better place. So my playbook, when I think about just sports and how many different playbooks, how many plays they have in the playbook, it relates so much to life, because as you're going through life, you are going to have to play your position, but also make sure that you protect yourself with a proper team. Because I believe that no matter how much skill we have as a player, if it's a team sport like life is, then we need to have our team, a good team, in order to create that win, right? Because you can take a great player with a weak team, and it makes it almost impossible for you to win by yourself. Like, have you ever seen that? And they'll be like, and the quarterback is good as he wants to be, but every time he passes the ball, he can't find a receiver or anybody out there that can catch it, and that was good. That was good. He put it right there in the pocket, but they can't catch it. Nobody's good on the receiving end. Or a quarterback that continuously gets sacked because he has nobody to protect him, right? The same example that you can be working extremely hard in your business, but you have a team that is horrible and they keep doing things and turning your customers away or losing business for you, and that is still your responsibility. And that's what we have to realize. In order to be a good player, your playbook first has to start with your ability to make sure that you're on point with how you develop your team. What type of people you associate with, what type of financial advisor do you have? Do you have someone that is a part of, a registered investment advisory firm that has license and is registered and regulated? Or are you just taking financial advice from some coworker or just someone you met on the street, or just someone that somebody told you about this big group, and they just keep calling and calling and calling you to tell you about this fly-by-night investment idea, and you keep going to it at this hotel. They don't even have an office, you know, and then, you know, so those are, as you would say in football, that's unnecessary roughness. That's taking on unnecessary risk. And we as a community do that way too often. And we leave ourselves out there to be sacked because you have not defended yourself nor built a team that can support you getting to the goals that you want to get to. Why are you talking to someone who cannot help you develop a stock portfolio about investing in stocks? Why are you talking to someone about how to protect your assets and they don't have any licenses in insurance or investments or in anything? They just, you know, bringing in somebody else to talk to you, and they were just the front person. And then they bring in somebody you don't have any idea who they are to sell you stuff that you have no understanding of. And then you are just doing these things. And then it doesn't even feel right too often. But you go ahead and allow yourself to be sacked. We can't afford to do that. If you coming in, you're the quarterback, you got to play your position and you got to play smart. You have to develop a team and learn how to defend yourself and your family and protect your finances by building first yourself up. What do they say? Your first piece of equipment is your body, your muscle. As I say in Black Health, Black Wealth, it is your mind. It is your ability to keep yourself healthy. Your first piece of equipment. How does money and investments relate to sports? That first piece of equipment is you, and how you build you up, how you invest in you, how you build the armor of information and knowledge and discipline that is required to have a smart investor. You got to be the best. You got to be the best that you got to be. Your shoulder pad is your mind. You know, your leg pads, you know, is your mind and your mentality. These are the things that you're using to protect yourself physically in sports, but what are you using to protect yourself and your family in reality? So we have to understand, let's just say we have to start with learning to understand how to protect our assets, right? I would say that is a major defensive move, right? It would be to learn how to protect what you already have, to protect it, having an emergency fund, having the proper protection for your car insurance, for your homeowner's insurance, for your renter's insurance, having proper life insurance to cover the bills if due to an untimely death. Before you have saved enough, do you have the life insurance that will pay off those debts that you have together, or to make sure that your family will be able to pay their and live and educate your children and take care of things due upon your death? One thing we know for sure, we are going to die. When? We don't know, but we are going to pass on. Do you have debts with someone? Is your family depending on you? Have you accumulated enough, or do you need to have insurance to fill in that gap? Life insurance is not a requirement. It is what is needed at different parts and amounts at different points in your life. But it irritates me when I listen to these commercials that run on Black radio stations and Black TV stations and talk to us like life insurance is a requirement. We can be self-insured. First, you have to decide what you're trying to protect, how much money do you have, and what you need to have. So then you have, but just making sure, but that's not even the major point here, is that I want us to understand that a major defensive move for ourselves, like in football, is to make sure that we protect the assets that we have. Life insurance, long-term care, disability insurance, getting proper training, getting the education, developing our skills, getting better and better at what we do, enhancing ourselves, our businesses, in making yourself a better employee, making yourself a better business owner, building yourself up. Defensive moves also could be seen as offensive moves. If you're learning something new so that you can move forward. Communicating your financial goals with your family. I see it as a defensive move, but it also could be seen as a good, or they say your best offense is a good defense, right? But, you know, knowing that so that both members or every member of your family knows what's important to your family, then I think it's not as hard to tell your children, you're not going to buy them a Lexus because you want to make sure that they get a good education. You know, that when you communicate that to them, I think it gives them a better understanding of why you might be rolling around in a 20 or 25-year-old car, and they're wondering, like, why you go to work every day and you're rolling around in this, and they don't realize because you're trying to, with delayed gratification, make sure that they're better off than you, and they're not like the other 40 million plus people with school loan debt. But communicating, because if you're like me, you grew up in a household where it was like, you know, no, and that's what it is. No, I don't have to communicate anything to you. But what we have to do in order for this next generation, we don't have to give up our self-respect, but we do need to communicate to them. Financial empowerment is important. Delayed gratification is important. And that's why I'm doing this. It's not that I'm just saying no. What I'm saying is not now, because we need to do this now. Because if not, we're going to have another generation of kids that don't understand, as Ms. Crockett said, good, solid principles. That first principle of AfroEconomics, legacy, of understanding that this is the footprint that I want to leave on the earth. This is what I want to leave behind for you. In order for me to do that, I'm going to have to put that off. This particular luxury item, we're not going to get right now because we have to do this. So indeed, you all are right. Thank you, Elizabeth. That's right. Indeed, y'all. The ladies are talking. They are winning. The ladies are winning. Elizabeth and Cynthia, and then only one man talked right for those few minutes, and the women are winning. I'm keeping score. Yes, I am. Only Mike and Rob, but Elizabeth and I'm going to add up and see like how many people taught, and Cynthia, and there has to be, and then Ms. Hayes. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Lou, I don't know. I think we're neck and neck. 4 men talk, 4 women talk. Uh-oh. Delayed gratification. Look. The other women, y'all just got to make up something. I need another woman to talk, so it'll be 5-4. Got 4 men that spoke up. Look, Mr. Robinson is trying. Y'all are so good. And he said it to all attendees. I love it. We got us a family here. Finally. So let me go on, because my time is moving, y'all. So let's explore also what football teaches us about investing when I think about fumbles, right? Fumbles. Now, a major fumble would be not having your financial priorities organized. Another fumble would be that you have to remember to check to see if the investment professional that you have is appropriately registered, to make sure that you are not participating in anything that's fraudulent or any illegal procedures of any kind. I hear it too often, and I can't save you afterwards. We have to get a heads up. Ask more questions, and anything that seems too good to be true generally is. There is absolutely no get rich quick. No, nobody out there has found out something before everybody else found out, and you're going to get this because all of the, there's this thing now about all of the currency in the world is going to switch over to this other currency, and all of us that we have this. So really, y'all? So really? Do you really think that there'd be like some sort of currency coming up and that none of us will know about it, and that when it, and then so a few of us? That's just like with Remember when MCI was going around and they were like, you're going to be able to do this before anybody else does this, and you're going to have this. And then what did they do? I mean, nobody made any money off of it. And we went around there and we built up, got them a business. I don't know how they did, but they benefited from it and told us that we were going to be the ones. So look, y'all, no, let's be careful. Let's check behind this stuff. Anytime they tell you something, get it in writing and get it in writing again. Then check with the Securities Exchange Commission on it. Check out everything. Don't fumble. We cannot afford to give anybody any of our money. I remember a member was telling me today about 10 years ago where he worked with a company and they were giving out stock. And he said, I should have made sure that I diversified it. So because of that, I'm afraid of the entire stock market. So he wanted to sell all of his positions that we had that were doing extremely well. And I said, well, you know, you cannot base a bad decision and hurt a good decision based on a bad decision. Because now you have a well-diversified portfolio, which is the key reason why the other one didn't work, because it wasn't well diversified. So don't punish what you have now that's doing well for you based on what you did that didn't. We got to learn from our mistakes and earn from our mistakes, but do not allow our mistakes to cripple us where we're afraid to run the ball. There are times where you're going to have to run the ball as the quarterback. You're going to have to take that chance. So, and then also, let's look at this. All investments have some degree of risk. We got to admit that. But you have to help yourself avoid taking on unnecessary risk so that, and our best way of doing that is first understanding your risk score, which I was saying, we do a risk analysis, one of the first parts of membership, and understand the relationship between investment returns and risk and getting the, but these are fumbles that you can make if you don't understand how risk works, how return works, and you're going to get sacked unnecessarily. So then, and then never make an investment decision solely based on something that you saw on Facebook or something that you saw where some guy that you respect in some capacity from Hollywood, and you take advantage of that. It was amazing to me when I saw like that 50 had done an endorsement. I think it was for one of the cyber coins and stuff. And then when it all came down to it, they sued him, and the government won because he had misled people that he did not have the position in that cyber coin as he had suggested in the Twitter that he posted. And it was like hundreds of thousands that he had to pay to the government, not to the people who did what he said, but to the government, because they proved that he did not actually, you know, make all that money that he said that he had made on the Twitter, when he tweeted it. So do not do not fumble, do not mess up by participating and listening to what these people say. I'm not going to say idiots, you know, but because there are people just trying to make money, but they are not licensed or regulated. So be very careful, because you're not going to see someone licensed or regulated coming out telling you what product, because it's against the law for me to do that. So when somebody does, then you can automatically assume they're not licensed, because if they are licensed, they're going to get a lot of trouble and you can sue them. But if they're not licensed, you can't even sue them, you know, unless they lied about, and you still couldn't really sue them. The government could sue them, but you being able to sue them would be really hard. So we have to protect yourself. You have to. That's why the government has rules, because the government is protecting itself. You have to have standards and rules for yourself, because it can only protect you but so much. And I've seen it. and people have done clients wrongs, and companies have done clients wrong, and it's still very hard to get compensated, to get everything back, especially your time. You're wasting time on trying to recover from an unnecessary fumble. So let's check this out. So a serious touchdown would be to make sure that you think about your strong investment plays, having financial goals, doing your research on your investment, doing your research on your investment advisor, doing your research on every financial decision that you make, checking interest rates, checking changes, checking your bills, checking what's going on, checking your credit score. These are all touchdowns. Participating in your plan at work if they have a match. If you don't have a plan at work, consider getting a serious IRA. Remember, yes, I can assist people with establishing their individual retirement accounts. Talk to your financial advisor or call me. Get help. Get involved in AfroEconomics. These are serious touchdowns. When you're a member of AfroEconomics, I cannot drag you down the field. You have to reach out. We only have quarterly meetings. You can call me every day. It is, yes, it is true. You have unlimited call privileges. So you can be getting down, doing whatever, how many yards it's called for, a first down, second down, every day. You can be going all the way down so that you are staying in the zone and you're getting touchdowns all the time. But we are having our quarterly meetings. You don't take time out for yourself. Is it the coach's fault, or is it your responsibility to look out for yourself and your playbook and make sure you're filling it up and making sure you know the plays and you're studying the plays and you're making it happen and you do the homework that we have in between meetings? I will never tell you that I'm meeting with you too much. Seriously, the challenge that I have and what I do wrong is I meet with people too much. But it's wrong, but it's right. And it's what I feel I have to do for our membership to grow to where we need it to grow, or at least sustain it. We have over 300 members now. Think about it. It started with one. So and this is like what? I think, I've really been aggressive about the membership, maybe 2 years. We can become a serious team to really make an impact on our community. I'm committed to that, but your success is what's going to make it work. I got to make sure that you are successful. You're successful. That's what we got to do, because everything that you do right, yes, indeed. Elizabeth said the 1 million. Yes, indeed. I'm going to have 1 million, ain't we? We get every member of the 1 million. We get the 1 million to 1 million. And then AfroEconomics to be 1 million, indeed. So let's go back. Let me go back. So those are some touchdowns. And then some top offensive moves is to take the time out to research every investment opportunity before you invest. Make sure that you diversify your investments. Make sure that you understand whatever fees. Make sure you understand the taxation of what you choose. Is it tax deferred? Is it taxable every year? Is it taxable upon maturity? What are the taxation? I'm about to sell something. What is my taxation on that? Understand the taxation. Understand the expenses involved. I have seen mutual funds, no-load mutual funds being sold by companies that go after our community, and they sell it as a mutual fund with a different name, and they add an 8% or more fee on it. I have seen it. That should be against the law, but it's not. They give it a different name, they come after a different group, and that gets done. But if you don't understand the expenses involved, then you don't know how to appreciate an investment portfolio, the AfroEconomics portfolios that are absolutely no load. But you don't understand how fabulous that is to have access to something that generally is going to multimillionaires, to have access to no loads. you know, and then have portfolios. That's capacity. But if we don't know, but that's okay, because I'm bringing it. And I just thank God for the opportunity to do it. And I'm going to do it until I take my last breath. I'm going to bring us truth, and I'm going to bring us opportunities that God is allowing me to bring to my community. But what I have to is communicate to us, check your expenses, check your taxation, check your fees. I would have $500 million, and hopefully Black people have a $500 million assets under management if we were all checking our fees. Now, we don't have, unfortunately, a whole bunch of assets in our community, but it would be a lot more if we were not paying unnecessary expenses and fees that we didn't understand. So let's look at some top defensive moves. We need to have an equally tough defense in order to protect yourself against investment fraud, investment, anything that's misleading you, you know, that like in anything where you feel pressured, sales tactics, people are coming to you with like, this is the best thing in the world. Like, be very careful and start defending yourself. If anybody's coming to you with, they guarantee that you will get this high return, you know what I'm saying? Make sure, or you got to make this decision today, or it's not going to be available tomorrow. Beware. You know, it might be like some special promotion that is ending, but they shouldn't be telling you about it the day before it ends. Because when did it start? When did it become available? That's what you need to ask. There are going to be some things that'll come to the end, but are they just calling you today and telling you you have until today to make this decision? Don't trust it. And then the best offense, as I was saying, is your good defense. And it's just like, and a good defense will be to make sure that you're spreading the risk, that you're well diversified, that you're using a variety of plays out of your playbook, which means having a lot of different asset classes, having stocks, having bonds, having money in cash, having money in real estate, having money, you know, in some commodities, you know, having money in some international, having your money spread out, having some contributions from all of these different areas in your overall portfolio is a good defensive move. So those are my major thoughts. I know that like this topic was totally different for me, but I really think that it does relate. And I do feel like I hate to really think of it that we have to always defend ourselves, but we do. And we have to be smart, and we have to get a better understanding, and we have to catch this ball and get a touchdown by being smart. Remember I was saying it's mental. Our mental attitude is our first ability to make sure that we win at this game of investing, right? Elizabeth said, spitting the science of finance, great. It's like a jungle sometimes. And it is in life in general. And we just fit our money management into it. And we cannot give up on things. It's just so easy to just say, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to look at that 401k statement. I'm not going to worry about that. Thank you, Mr. Robinson. But we have to make sure that we do look at every aspect of our financial life. And if it seems like, oh, you know what, this looks like it's not quite right, make sure that you reach out, use your resources, and most importantly, take advantage of the free AfroEconomics membership, the No Excuses membership, true to its name, no excuse. Join and take part in our Friday members only meetings. I try to come with a personal financial topic that we can discuss, but I know that it is building on that because our membership meetings are getting bigger and bigger, and they're going to soon, you're going to just be able to see each other. But right now, we're still like, it's very similar to this, and we're doing the discussions and you ask your questions. But I just feel that over time, you're going to become more and more comfortable with looking at each other and being on camera, and y'all are going to, because I welcome you. I welcome you to just share the screen. But I know what we're talking about is a personal matter, you know, and it's finances. So I know sometimes writing about it, and that's why, like, a lot of times I just say your first name or say your last name. You know, I won't say too much because it is personal, and I appreciate you just, you know, sharing your financial goals with me. And then that's the advantage of doing the comprehensive financial management membership, because you can get, you know, you do your financial planning agreement, and you have the privacy policy, and you're protected. Yes, you are, Mr. Lewis, on your way to the end zone. I know that's right. Yes, yes, and yes, and speak it. That is so powerful for the brother to speak that. You don't know what you're doing for yourself and your family, Mr. Lewis, when you speak that type of strength into your family, into the air. It really, really makes a difference. So you all, let's continue to speak power and to speak life into each other. I appreciate you all, and thank you for speaking life into AfroEconomics, because it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. You all have a wonderful week, and I'll be here. I'll be on standby. I'm gonna go back to my DJ booth, play a little music for a little bit. If you have any questions, just make sure you put that up. Oh, you have a great week, Ms. Hayes. Yes, indeed. I think you're gonna fax me something tomorrow. Thank you. And y'all better remember, look, look at that cowboy. I'm still recording, so that it will be. Now see that jersey. You see that? Oh, and I forgot the definitely I have the so I'll tell y'all about that next week. I have, you know, some things to make sure that you check out the new AfroEconomics t-shirt in the bookstore. So we have the bookstore, the books, and everything in there. But the new t-shirt, I love it. I'm gonna bring some to the 1 Million conference, Elizabeth. I will see you there, Monica. I will see y'all. I will see y'all on Friday. Everybody, there is definitely, I think if you go now after this webinar, you can get, you and your wife or you and a guest can come to the 1 Million and register together. So make sure that you would take advantage. And JB Bryan Financial Group, the home of AfroEconomics, is a platinum sponsor. So I will be sharing some key tips on Saturday at lunchtime. Yes, indeed. So make sure you participate. Come out. It's in Northern Virginia, right out of DC. It's so beautiful. Beautiful. Come on up there, Mr. Robinson. Get in that car. Yes, indeed. Deborah, I expect to see you too. Come to I Am One of the Million. Go to the website and just click and go in. You will have a great time. If not, you will see the pictures if you can't come.